Indiana Jones. It's a podcast about Indiana Jones. Every movie, 1 minute at a time. Indiana Jones. Minute.
Welcome back to the Indiana Jones Minute. This is the podcast where we discuss the film Daddy-O and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull 1 minute at a time. I'm Tom Taylor.
What are you looking at, Tommy-O? She's getting away. I'm Pete Mummer.
I'm Gerald Christopher. She's getting away! Porter. Which, you know, that comes naturally to me.
Yeah, story of your life.
Eh.
And I'm...
That's befuddled Indiana Jones-ese for Gordie. Welcome back, Gordie.
Yeah.
Gordie the mailman.
Yay! Gordie the mailman. Thank you for having me. This is going to be a fun night of hanging out and talking about stuff that's fun and a little irritating, but mostly fun.
Sure. Hey,
Yeah,
story of
wow.
our lives again.
Yep.
Sorry.
Yes. This, as everyone knows, is minute 82, which is the one that begins with Mutt getting beaten up by Spalko, and it ends with Indy's duck and Spalko's Jeep, truck, whatever it is, racing along the edge of a cliff.
Pete, question for you.
Mm-hmm.
With that opening Spalko Salvo, how is Mutt still standing?
I have that question. Like, can you chop somebody in the neck multiple times and that person retains consciousness? Because I feel like you would not be able to. Yeah.
I wanted to say Spalko Salvo. Spalko Salvo. Spalko Salvo. Spalko Salvo.
See,
Spalko
made it
Salvo.
weird.
Yeah, Spalko Salvo.
That's it.
Yeah, like
It's an improv warm-up. It's improv warm-up.
Red
Yeah.
leather, yellow leather.
It's like that scene in Bugsy where Warren Beatty's sitting in the car trying to warm up for his acting debut.
Yeah.
Wait, what? I can't remember what he says now.
God damn it. Me neither.
I'll remember about halfway through.
Yeah. Peas and carrots. Yeah, I mean, this is a new move from her, the karate chop.
Yeah.
Karateing the picket fences.
Karateing the carotid artery, but he's still seeing.
yeah, no,
Right.
totally.
Yeah, I'm not sure where that came from.
She studied for it off screen for this role. So obviously in the script, which you might know, Pete, because you have the script, is there karate fighting as a scene?
I believe it just says that they're fighting.
Hand-to-hand combat?
Yeah, I think I deleted it. But I think it just said they were fight. Like there was nothing in this part of the script that stood out to me as something that wasn't in the movie. But I don't think they called out karate.
Well, I don't know where she found out, where she studied, but I know that if Bruce Lee were alive at that point, she definitely studied with him because, and I'm jumping ahead a little bit into the minute with the fight, that
okay.
right before she knocks him onto the other duck, she extends her foot like straight, just like Bruce Lee, when he would do that thing with his leg and just go straight. It's a great finishing move. And wherever she learned it, she learned it in Russia, maybe, who knows? Maybe she was a Shaolin monk for a time. Who knows?
Well, no,
Yeah.
this actually ties them all three together because this might explain why she's so familiar with Indy, because Bruce Lee at this time is in San Francisco and Indy's in San Francisco teaching at Marshall. And maybe she was here like on some kind of foreign exchange and got to study with Bruce.
I don't think Bruce was studying in 57.
Yeah, he was like 3.
Yeah. But he was a prodigy. He was the best. So that could track. Yeah, I could track.
Actually, he was probably older than 3 in 57.
Yeah. Somebody look it up quick before we.
Oh man, he was 17 in 1957.
Oh really?
Oh well,
Yeah.
then it tracks right on.
Yeah.
Already building a name for himself.
It's some great moves. I'll say that. I really do like it. She's got some fantastic moves.
I like this whole minute.
Oh, do you? Okay.
Really?
I do.
The whole
Yeah.
minute.
Wow.
Well,
All
I
right.
like it all except for the skull flip. I feel like the skull flip is a little hard to believe, but the rest of it I
The
like.
skull flip is weird. Yeah, she kicks him. She's kicking him over and over, and then she gets him either right in the boing-loings or just in the gut. I can't quite tell. Like right in the
Yeah, I think it's
in
right
the
between the
belt.
two.
Yeah. And she knocks him back, and he just tosses the skull up in the air, and she catches it.
Well, he does one of those like whoa, like
Yeah.
he's like
Oh,
flailing
yeah,
his
yeah, yeah.
arms, and he does that like 2 or 3 times, and then he
Yeah.
happens to let go of the flail, and the arc of his arm sends it right to her.
Yeah.
Yeah, lucky bounce.
Yeah,
Right.
You know what? Don't we? You know where we? Don't we see something like that in an indie movie where it's? Oh, I know where it is. I know exactly. This is a callback of when Indy hits the guy in the rucksuckle in Raiders, and his hat pops up, and he catches it and puts it on it. Right? He puts it on his
Oh,
head.
I get. Well,
Yeah,
in the submarine. Yeah, the submarine.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Oh,
in
yeah.
that's a
Malta,
cool,
in
deliberate
Malta.
move, though. That's like.
Yeah, but no, Spalko kicks him, and he, and he falls back, and the skull pops up like Indy's hat.
it's also kind of like with the Ruckus Master, the Rumpus King, whatever the mechanic, the
Yeah.
Yeah.
Scrum Chum.
Pat Roach. Yeah.
Yeah, when
yeah.
Indy gets hit, and he kind of does the same flailing thing before he falls.
He does that wobble.
Yeah.
Really
Oh
gross
yeah,
wobble.
yeah.
Again, I wish I was watching Raiders. That's a really good movie.
Well,
Well, you guys managed to merge the best part of the movie with the reason I was angry with the movie at the end of the minute. But I completely agree with you, Jerry. This scene is the fight scene is so good. It's so fast and quick, and it seems to me that it's all Kate. I mean, maybe there's one shot where you see from the back and you can't tell if it's a wig lady, but I think it's her.
Yeah, no, I think you're right. I think she's got some moves. Good for her.
Yeah.
the karate chop is nice.
Yeah.
She was 3 months pregnant during this too, you know?
Really?
Oh, really? God.
Wow.
That sounds like something we should know.
Yeah.
Thank you for
Yeah,
letting
that
us
sounds
know.
like something. Is
So
that
like
true?
we done even rudimentary research before we started doing
Yeah.
this movie. So.
I mean, I think we heard Pete say that he already deleted the screenplay from his computer. So I don't know. It feels like we're not
Yeah.
totally got our heads in the game, but it's going to be all right. God, I just saw that kick again. That is really weird. That almost looks like, is that like Naked Gun or something where like somebody kicks up impossibly and then she's like holding the guy's leg or something. And yeah.
The one where she goes above her head?
Yeah.
That one?
Yeah. That's bizarre.
Yeah. That's a great,
Yeah.
such a great kick.
I saw that and I watched it 3 or 4 times. You're like, so what is happening there? It's kind of got like a Muppet vibe.
It does.
I think
yeah.
Naked Gun was a
Grover-
good description.
It
Yeah.
is, yeah. I forget what that move is. There's like he grabs somebody, like somebody's doing a crazy flip or something. He grabs their leg. I don't know what it is, but yeah, it's like some impossible. The legs are not where they're supposed to be or something.
Right. It reminds me of Grover from Sesame Street. Like his legs are kind of like that.
Yeah.
Especially when
They're
he does
gangly.
he does Super Grover.
hmm
Defies the laws of physics, basically.
Is the
Yeah.
part that you don't like, Gordie, the fact that that Indy's just sort of like staring at Mutt after he lands on the thing, and like he seems like kind of out of his own adventure for like 30 seconds or something?
No. We'll get to it. It's at the
all
end.
right.
It's at the end of the minute.
Okay.
Is the part that
I didn't mean
and
to put words in your mouth. I'm sorry.
Well, no. When we talk about if I like this movie or don't like this movie, that's when I'll bring it up again. But that is funny that you bring up the Indiana, him making that face. I watched that shot over and over again to see if there was something in there that I could pick apart or say it's like what, but it's just so actually just non-committal and just I don't know if is he frustrated with Mutt or is he just kind of like I don't know. I'm not in touch with my emotions right now, so I don't know what to say or do.
It looks even weirder than that. Like Mutt falls back, like Spalko kicks him, and he falls back onto the front of Indy's duck truck thing. And then they like have this moment where they just look at each other, and Indy's just looking at him like he doesn't know what's going on.
Right.
Like, it makes
like
you feel
a-
sort of
it's
bad
like-
for him.
Well, wait
It's
a
like
minute.
something out of Kafka because Indy's just staring blankly at him, and then
Yeah.
Spalko's just staring blankly at him from the other direction. It's just this weird, like surreal, like they're just both silently
Yeah.
staring at him.
And Mutt's like,
Well,
am I here? Am I alive?
Well, here's what's
What am I?
weird. Indy, drives the duck truck up to save Mutt. So
Right.
he clearly is very present in the moment.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
what makes
that's
the
true.
look. Yeah, it's as a matter of fact, he saves Mutt's life or from grave injury, and it's a great move.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
he catches
And it's
him.
a success. Yeah.
It's
He
a
saves him.
success, and it's cool because the duck truck has like a flat hood, and
Mhm.
so Mutt lands perfectly. He doesn't even need to fall off, or he's not going to wiggle off or anything. He lands beautifully on this flat surface, and then you're right. Indy looks at him, and all I'm wondering, like, is he thinking, this is my utter failure of a son. Because he just got kicked off. Like, there's no way that would have happened to me. And is he forgetting his own truck chase from Raiders where he was thrown out the window, of the truck, the front window of the truck, and
Yeah.
had to like, was he expecting Mutt? Basically, he had to save Mutt. Okay,
Right.
Mutt was going to die. This is a failure. Like, what
Well-
should have happened is Mutt should have fallen off the truck, and he should have clung on, and he should have had a bullwhip or something, and he should have gone under Spalko's truck or Jeep, and
Yeah.
then come up on the other side and then kicked her ass.
Well, that
And then he
is-
should have closed his eyes when talking to the crystal skull, and everybody else would have got up into heaven.
Aw.
But that makes
I'm-
sense why, like, if Indy's that disappointed in him, that's why Indy doesn't save him in a minute when he should be saving him.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I think he's kind of like, what sort of disaster, has my loins spawned?
Wait, is this supposed to be like not so much that he fell off the truck, but that he gave up the skull so easily? Is it supposed to be like, I'm glaring at you with clear anger because you did exactly that thing? And then Mutt comes back with, hey, what are you looking at, Daddy? Oh, she's getting away with the skull. Like, is that supposed to be?
I don't know. I didn't get that. I didn't get anger. I didn't really get anything. I just
trying
got
so
hard.
a blank stare.
Right. That's exactly. It's like what is he conveying? I can't
It
tell.
looks like, it literally looks like he does not recognize the guy who's sitting on the hood of his car. He doesn't know what's going on right
I
now.
don't know. I think he recognizes him, but he doesn't want to know him at all.
Okay. Well, see,
Actually,
that would,
though,
that
wait,
would be fun. I guess.
Actually, I hate that. We're having fun. I'm having fun.
Yeah.
And this is great. But the truth is, that blank stare is just a setup for Mutt's line, and that's
It
what
is, isn't
sucks. No, it
It
is. We keep
absolutely
looking
fails.
into it. Yeah, we keep looking into it. Like, what is he? And you're like, no, Indy is supposed to be totally spaced out and zoned out, so that it looks like Mutt is taking the reins here, and he's slapping Indy out of this this sort of neutral reverie.
Mm-hmm.
And Mutt is taking the reins here. Like, Tommy, what's the line?
Oh, Mutt's line right now?
What are you
Yeah.
looking at,
What are
Daddy?
you looking at, Daddy-O? She's getting away with the skull
Yeah.
or whatever.
Is Daddy-O because he's his dad, or do you think it's even registering that he's his dad and he would call anybody in this moment Daddy-O?
No, it's slang. It's the slang of the 50s. I
Yeah.
looked it up. And the
Yeah,
exact
it
thing
is the slang, but I'm curious if he says it specifically because also it's his actual Daddy-O.
It is a little pointed now. It's a little.
it fits now.
Yeah.
You can actually, because it's a term of familiar address to a man originally used by jazz musicians to display camaraderie.
Yeah, but he's not feeling camaraderie with Indy, and I don't think you use Daddy-O with your actual dad. I don't think that's ever how it is used.
No, it's one of those things where it's just both. It's like
Yeah.
he let it slip. It's sort of in his. It's a colloquialism, right? So he let it. That came out of his mouth, but now it takes on an additional meaning, and it's supposed to be funny. And the whole thing was like, how about in this minute, Mutt calls his dad Daddy-O, but it's colloquial, but it takes on an additional thing, and then we'll have Indy stare at him blankly, and you're like,
And the crowd will go wild.
and the crowd will go wild. Yeah.
Well, it's funny though, because it's actually Mutt has never had a chance to rebel because he's never known his dad, but this is like his first chance to actually be a rebellious teen. So he's like Daddy-O, like he's using the like, like a kid says Daddy-o to his dad in 1957, the dad slaps him and he's like, don't give me that kind of talk.
It's also smoking jazz cigarettes.
Yeah.
The teaching moment where he's trying to get it. It's like, oh, you're my dad now. You're going to have to get with it and get with the new way people talk. Maybe that's part of it.
World's changing, old man. Daddy-o's rough. Whatever the excuse is for Daddy-o, whatever it's supposed to mean, it sticks out really weirdly and awkwardly, and it's very much like the very first time you see Mutt, and he's got the Marlon Brando hat, which you never see again. But it's like one 50s piece too many.
I kind of agree.
Yeah. You ruined it.
Here's the thing. Back to the Future does it beautifully.
Yeah, as a joke.
A joke. And you're like, it's Back to the Future, it's a comedy, and it's awesome. And doesn't he, I can't remember the line, but he goes like, Dad, Daddy-o.
Yeah, he's talking to his dad. He almost calls him Dad, but he doesn't want to call him Dad.
It's hysterical. Yeah. You're like, that's where this is appropriate and it's hilarious. But of course it takes you out of the danger as again, they just keep making those choices, which is fine. They were directorial choices, and I guess it just wasn't to the timbre that I was hoping. Yeah. But that's just how it is. It's the Indiana Jones ride, and that's what the movie is.
I guess
so. Well, what's Spalko doing on the Indiana Jones ride?
Yeah, she's not supposed to be standing up in the Indiana Jones ride.
No.
I'll tell you that right when you get on it. Just stay sitting, keep your arms and legs.
That's like how the kid gets decapitated on the Matterhorn or something. Yeah. That's weird.
Although, you know what? I'm going to stun everybody. I actually like that shot. I like
it's a nice shot.
Standing up like
it is
that.
A nice shot, yeah.
The way that's framed and the way the camera switches angles, that's the best part of that shot, of that minute. It's just like the way it just changes and goes. And she just takes off backwards.
And it comes right off. It comes right off Mutt's line. She's getting away with the skull, and then you cut to that, and you're like, oh my god, she is getting away with the skull. That's awful. And she's so proud of herself.
I was going to say, I'm going to take a minute because I keep karate chopping this movie in the neck. And what's so
self-defense,
difficult,
Jerry, it's okay.
What's so difficult is I'm with you there. Whoever said they like the way it's framed. It's a beautiful shot. Yeah, Gordie. It is a very cool shot. Watching her fly, kind of, go towards the horizon with the skull, and it's beautiful. It's beautifully framed, and there's a lot of scenes like that are captivating. And that's what makes this movie dizzying, is because there is a lot of cool stuff that happens but it's all like, I don't know, tertiarily or something.
Yeah, it is hard to. It's
like moments or like, oh, that's a beautiful shot.
Right.
Or where you're like,
it just goes by so fast. It's like you don't have time to really stop and think about it.
It's like, no, the dialogue and the plot and the characters are incoherent, but that's a beautiful shot.
Yeah.
But see, I think it's followed by another, I think, gorgeous classic Spielberg shot / moment. Because Mutt stands up and he gets lassoed by a vine. And he disappears up into the trees, and Indy keeps driving. But then in the music, it's this frantic chase music, and all of a sudden the camera cuts into a close up on Mutt, and you see these capuchin monkeys around him, and the music just turns to this lovely, soft Spielberg wonder.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's amazing. I love that juxtaposition. I think it's incredible.
It's kind of nice to have that quiet moment. Yeah.
And also, that's a real monkey. That's an actual non-CG monkey, which is great.
They don't make those.
Oh, see, I had heard the opposite.
Is it? Well, I know that the rest of them aren't, and that's what I'm
maybe
saying.
so. I just know that they filmed a lot of it in Hawaii, and Hawaii wouldn't let them bring any monkeys in.
Oh,
but they may have filmed that close up. That close up may have been done because it looks real.
That could be a pickup. That could be a pickup shot. Yeah, that could be a pickup shot somewhere else.
Yeah. I also love that his hair looks very 1950s. Like the monkey's hair looks like it's like a 50s pompadour.
Yeah.
Do you think the monkey said, "What are you looking at, Daddy-o?"
Yeah. It is my turf.
Yeah.
Taking a step. So this brings to mind, in the back of the comic books, you could buy a capuchin monkey in 1957. I wonder if that monkey.
Wow.
Do you remember those? You guys know that?
Oh man.
Yeah, like sea monkeys and all that sort of stuff. You could buy a capuchin monkey in the back of comic books and magazines and Soldier of Fortune and whatever. Yeah, you totally could.
Oh, Soldier of Fortune, that makes sense.
Well, I'm just saying, it's like that era of, and I'm not sure I don't know if anybody actually did it. There was a book some years ago where a guy went through and got all the comic book ad stuff and like researched everything and found what was a scam and what was like the submarine was just a cardboard box.
Oh
and
my God.
The balloon was just a garbage bag, all that sort of stuff.
The X-ray glasses worked though. The X-ray glasses really worked.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, totally.
Yeah.
You can totally see. I saw the bones in my hand.
I'm just imagining a guy who subscribes to Soldier of Fortune and he's in his underground missile silo with like a mountain of pinto beans behind him and a capuchin monkey.
and one capuchin,
Yeah.
One more mouth to feed. What have I
That
done?
makes sense.
I'm going to ask the obvious question. Why does Mutt go up? He gets caught by the vine.
Oh yeah, why
and
does
then
the vine? Yeah,
he's dragged up into the sky.
that's a good question.
I don't know why that would happen. Unless there's like
Maybe-
a bunch of monkeys like on the other end of the vine and they're
Oh,
just
do you
waiting
think the
for
monkeys
him
are? Yeah, you think the monkeys are hoisting him?
Maybe, I don't know.
I
That would be
mean,
like a Ewok type contraption where somebody like chops down the thing that lets the weight go and that pulls them up and whatever. Yeah, I don't know.
But
is
then
it
why-
okay? Is it because of the inertia? Like he's going. Is that what it is? Like he's going along at say 30 miles an hour, and he is someone eloquently said he gets lassoed by the vine, and then but you wouldn't like if the vine wasn't moving. I mean, he'd probably be eviscerated. Like if the vine
Yeah,
didn't
you're
move.
right.
So
Yeah.
I assume that the he's being propelled kind of. He doesn't go up so much as he swings up into the canopy of the trees.
Yeah.
I
Well,
don't think
no,
he swings,
when you
though.
look
He
at
gets
the,
got-
yeah,
he's
it doesn't
hoisted.
swing. It is hoisted.
No,
Yeah.
he's
Oh, that's so
hoisted.
gross.
You're
This
right,
would be
he's
such a
hoisted.
different movie if, like, instead of that, you have like Mutt's top half and Mutt's bottom half both still on the hood of Indy's car.
Well, I wasn't cut out to be a dad anyway.
Well, I just watched it, and I think what happens is the camera angle fools us. The camera changes. He just gets caught on it, but the way the shot goes up, it looks like he's going up, but it's actually the camera angle's changing. He doesn't actually go up into the canopy.
But
So wait a minute, how is
but then
there
they
a-
cut the next shot. He's like actually ascending into the sky, hanging onto the thing a little bit more. and he's
He
like
is,
eye
yeah.
level with a monkey who's up in a tree. Like he went
Yeah.
up.
You know what? I just figured it out.
Uh-oh.
I just figured it out. This is a movie, and we are not supposed to take it as reality. It's not supposed to be. It's not supposed to be. Yeah, I took this long too.
Wow.
Like for the most, like the whole first part of the movie, every part of it was completely believable. So
That
yeah,
changes everything. Oh my gosh. We should have applied that this entire time.
yeah, it's a movie.
Man.
It's a movie.
Although, you know what?
Wow.
What does not
Well, thank
feel like
you.
a movie? I love this moment that he and the monkey have. Like the monkey's expression that he just looks at him. Like he's like, huh.
Yeah.
I love
We
this.
don't
It's like they have a moment.
Well,
Yeah.
so what's interesting is we have 3 Indiana Jones movies that have monkeys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So is there? I can't remember. Is
Oh,
there
yeah.
no monkey in Last Crusade?
I don't remember one. I don't think
there's
they
a
go
monkey
anywhere
in
that
it.
has monkeys in Last Crusade.
Yeah.
Is this a moment where you go, he's adorable?
I guess.
Why
so.
does
And they're all
Indy-
capuchins, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Well, the monkey brain
Yeah.
surprise isn't a capuchin, but the
No,
Right.
that's a yeah.
Are they trying to sneak in some Cairo into that the music that plays there?
yeah,
like that little
it feels a lot like that.
Fluty
yeah.
thing? Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
But why doesn't Indy do anything to like his son is actually now seems like he's in more peril than when he was fighting, because then at least Indy could tell that he was okay. But now like Indy looks up, he's like, oh, my son's trapped in a tree in the most murderous jungle on earth. I'm just gonna keep going.
Right. I mean, there's
does he know Marion's behind him? and maybe is going to be the one.
Oh, I don't know.
No, but that still doesn't. She doesn't come into play later.
In the last shot of this minute, it's two vehicles. It's just Indy's and Spalko's, and you don't know where Marion is. I actually don't know where she is. Well, we haven't seen her since Spalko tried to shoot her in the face with a machine gun.
But how do? Oh, I'm sorry.
So I don't. Yeah, I mean, there are players in this race that we haven't seen in a long time. I don't know where they all are.
It's definitely a race because now, for some reason, Indy is in front of Spalko, but even though Spalko has the skull in his behind, she's trying to catch up with Indy now.
Mm-hmm.
And I have no idea how he passed her. What happened?
Is that the final scene of this minute with the two cars? Is Indy in front of Spalko?
Yeah.
That is the dumbest Benny Hill thing I've ever heard.
Yeah, it's fair. I mean, unless she's flat out just, okay, I got the skull, now I just need to get Indiana Jones out of my way.
But how did she have
them in the first place?
Wait. She just got the skull and drove away off into the sunset.
Yeah.
Like that they framed this beautiful shot.
Oh,
of
right.
her.
Yeah. Oh, wait. Yeah. You're right.
Like, and what does Mutt say?
Yeah.
She's getting away.
She's getting away. And you're like, don't worry, she's going to chase us.
He is like 5 car lengths ahead of her when they got back to her. That's really funny.
Maybe this is like a French New Wave thing. And Mutt was actually looking at Spalko when he said she's getting away. And Indy was already in the lead. It's like a weird
and the shot of her
thing.
Standing up in the thing was Indy's imagination, like picturing her just driving off like that.
He's picturing Mutt talking to her and seeing her in the distance.
This whole chase has been really weird. That like it really, really, really hard to follow and figure out who was where. There's one thing we didn't even call out, like during their sword fight. I was looking at it later, and Mutt and Spalko actually switch. They start off on like I think the front of the cars, and then like between shots they're suddenly on the back of the cars, and so there's all sorts of stuff like that going on. You don't know who's in what vehicle, or where the skull is. It's very like Spielberg is supposed to be like the master of like the geography of an action scene, and you always know exactly what's going on and where everybody is, and that's not the case with this scene. It makes me sad.
I just looked at it again. That's a total continuity error. There's no like high road, low road thing that zero.
Yeah. And you could get away with that if it's just like the mayhem of a chase, but then to have that like striking shot that we all appreciated and liked and noticed of her speeding away ahead of him. Yeah. And the next shot he's way ahead of her. That just isn't.
What's again dizzying is that the final shot of this minute where they're sort of on this cliff. Right, a little bit like the Raiders truck chase. They're on a cliff, right? And there's a beautiful, what maybe like the Amazon or below or something. It is a beautiful shot. Like it's striking.
Yeah.
And you see these two cars, running along on the edge, and you're like, it's a great shot, and yet,
yeah.
These dudes are just on a yacht, like collecting their loot. I mean, that's all. You know what I mean? They're just like these guys must have been somewhat checked out making this movie.
I feel like this whole scene
certainly feels that way.
I feel like it was. They didn't get the shots that they wanted because this whole scene has been weirdly edited. Like I feel like they had to edit things together in a weird way. Yeah. Oh, Indy's a good like he's drifting here. Like this is like Fast and the Furious. It's pretty amazing. Yeah.
So I got a little peek behind the curtain. When you picked the minutes, did you have any idea that you were picking this minute for me, or was this just like thrown at me and just like,
this is just sort of luck of the draw.
Okay,
get you in here.
So
this is open.
I wasn't in. I didn't do Raiders, but Temple of Doom. It's a cliff scene with the ladder that I was on.
All right,
and then Last Crusade ended up with the tank and the cliff scene, and then this ends up with the cliff scene. It's just like I'm literally like I'm literally the cliffhanger dude.
I'm sorry, I misspoke before. We absolutely knew what we were doing, and we had you on for this cliff scene.
Who's isn't the whole trilogy? What's the character in Cheers? Cliff, isn't he a mailman?
Yeah. Whoa, my God.
There you
Oh my gosh.
There you go.
There we go. Just
Holy smokes.
just stop recording right now. That's Indiana Jones Minute. Thanks for listening.
just solved the podcast.
30-minute episode. We're done.
Well done, Jerry.
Yell a good frog ball and we're out.
God. Wow.
I did not even think about that. Good job, Jerry.
That is really good.
Daddy-o.
Hey, I had a weird, I don't know why I chose this minute to do this in, but I was watching Mutt get kicked over and over by Spalko, and I was like, he's got those buttons on his jacket, and I don't think we've ever talked about the buttons on his jacket. And I looked it
I don't
up,
think we have either.
and it's interesting that.
all his pinbacks. Okay,
Yeah. He's got 3 American Motorcycle Association membership pins for his 1-year, 3-year, and 4-year memberships. He's got what is just called a New Jersey pin. You can actually see that in a close-up. It's got like the profile of the state of New Jersey. He's got a National Honor Society pin.
Really?
Something that the Wikipedia calls the CU High School Lionettes pin. I don't know what that means. I don't know what CU High School is or who the Lionettes are. He's got a vintage Democratic donkey pin. So I guess, okay, he's a Democrat. And the most interesting to me, he's got the Cub Scout Bobcat pin. And
I got one of those.
So does my son. But that's what's weird to me is Bobcat is like the earliest level of Cub Scouts. That's usually what you start at. So he didn't finish Cub Scouts. Like he quit. He started Cub Scouts, became a Bobcat, and then quit, but then kept the pin.
Wait.
I love that. That's like a sign of I've been a dropout since I was 8.
Right? Yeah, it's got
I'm
both.
proud
it's
of
got
it.
both. Like I'm proud of dropping out. Like they can't tell me what to do. I'm not going to advance to Tiger or whatever it is.
But I'm also in the National
then
Honor Society.
Yeah, but then like it almost seems like maybe Bobcat was a good time. I'll remember
I'm gonna
that.
keep this.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Or
put
is
this
it
in my
like
little-
Jerry? Do you remember I had that hat in like I was wearing a hat for some time for some reason, like as early teens, and I had pins all over it, and not all of them like were like I had like a Star Trek pin, like an MTV pin and stuff, but then I had like like an Alfred E. Newman pin or something. I wonder if it's just like, I want to put pins on something, so I'm gonna keep my Bobcat pin because I have it. And
well,
this New
I think
Jersey
when
pin, I'll put that on there.
you need to accumulate pins and have them all have meaning. You have to have a lot of experience and sort of you have to live, and I think that frequently the pins, you run out and you want to put all the pins on your jacket, but you just haven't lived that much. I mean, by the time you've actually lived enough so that all the pins would have meaning, you're like, these pins on my jacket are stupid.
Yeah, why am I putting pins on my jacket?
Yeah, why am I putting? Yeah, exactly. You're like, yeah. So I think that's a perfect example. You're like, I need to fill this up with pins. And of course, some of them are like Alfred E. Newman. You're like, I guess. Or a pin of New Jersey. Or the Bobcat pin.
Yeah.
What's a Weebelo?
Weebelo is like
Weebelo is right after Cub Scouts.
Yeah.
Weebelo. So what's a Bobcat?
Bobcat is the first part. It's like Cub Scouts. You're a Bear Scout, a Wolf Scout, and then Weebelos is in between Boy Scouts. And I did all that, and I did all the Cub Scouts, and I got the Arrow of Light and got all the things. And then I had to be a Boy Scout or went to a Boy Scout meeting, and then all of a sudden it became super militaristic. And I said, "Yeah, that." I'm like, "Oh."
Hooray!
Now it's a party.
The Weebelos.
No, the Weebelos were cool. The Weebelos taught you how to make paper mache and how to tie a tie and sew a button and all this real stuff. Maybe make a cake. And then Boy Scouts turned into camping and got really, really, really militaristic. So I just said no, thank you.
I see.
Yeah.
I feel like Boy Scout, they kind of prepare you for celibacy. Wait a minute. I got Pete laughing. It happens like once every 3 months. I
thought you were confusing that with Catholic
No,
Church for a second.
they They take you out. I feel like they leave you in the woods in Boy Scouts because you're like, like we'll pick you up in 4 days. Now this is how your sex life is going to be. In the middle of this, hello.
Will anybody go to the prom with me?
With me? Would anybody think I'm cute?
Well.
All right. Speaking of, the wilderness and cuteness. By the way, my sister, Professor Christy Porter, was a Girl Scout.
Oh,
so
really?
yeah, and a brownie.
Yeah, not just a brownie. Okay.
No, she was a brownie and a Girl Scout. And it's the same thing, bright, shiny objects. When you're younger, like 8 or 9 or 10, you're like, I want to get all those things. I want to collect all those buttons and pins, and let me get it. Sure, I don't live anywhere near New Jersey, but I'm going to get a button of it.
It looks cool. And then you discover video games. You're like, oh, I can get badges in this video game. Okay, I'm going to play Fortnite and just collect all the stuff. That's much cooler than getting actual pins and stuff.
Sure.
I was a Girl Scout for one night in Halloween. The Cub Scouts would have a Halloween party, and my sister was a Girl Scout, and I just wore her Girl Scout outfit. And it was way before androgyny was like really cool and 80s goth. And
you made it cool.
And of course, nobody knew I was going to do it. So I just walked in the doors, and everybody was just like, "Wow,
you're a culture club scout."
And now, decades later, we have girls and Boy Scouts. Thank you, Gordie.
Yes.
Yeah. I'll send you the photo.
Oh God,
awesome.
Please do.
Okay, that's a lot. Yeah. Culture Club too, yes. This just in from Professor Christy Porter, who I know loves 80s music and Culture Club. All right. Name that monkey.
Charlie. It's Charlie.
That's all she has.
It's Charlie.
Name that monkey.
Well, the eyebrows are like a V, really strong V. So I would call him Ming, maybe Ming the Merciless.
Yeah, he does.
Maybe.
Yeah, it does. Yeah. He does look like he has a little pompadour and sideburns, though, which I love.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that's the CG we're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did his hair.
Well, I did look up capuchin monkeys, and a lot of them have that same kind of pompadour sideburns look too.
That's why the girls are so into them.
Yeah.
I had to look because the capuchin monkey is named after the capuchin monks, right?
Yeah, like with the hair look the same, like people thought their hair looked similar. Or was
is that what it is? I mean, I want to make sure I get that. I mean, the monkeys have been around a lot longer than the monks.
Yeah, but I think they were named after them. Although, you know what? I don't know if that's true or you just told me that was true. So now I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Into his trap.
Like Jerry's been saying this for so many years. Maybe it's not. Maybe that was the other way around, though.
I feel really backwards at the moment. I don't know. I mean, I'm assuming that's what it is.
No, the word capuchin derives from a group of friars named Order of Friars Minor Capuchin, an offshoot of the Franciscans, who wear brown robes with large hoods.
just like the monkeys.
Yeah. Hey.
Pete, have you read? Speaking of monks, have you read Thomas Merton's The Seven-Story Mountain?
No, my dad loved it, and I know you've been reading that.
I did. I just finished it, and I want to ask Father David Mowry thoughts on Thomas Merton.
All right.
There you go. Yeah, I just asked. Yes, thoughts
Father
on
David,
Thomas
it's up
Merton?
to you to get in touch with Jerry, however you need to.
This could be a political firestorm, the likes of which we've never seen on the Crusade. Or it could be very nice.
I don't know what we're getting
into. The Seven-Story Mountain was it's sort of a famous autobiography of his, and it was I enjoyed it. A very interesting life. So there you go.
Well, Gordie. Before we let you loose with these monkeys and stuff and to seek your fortune in the jungle. Where, outside of this minute, 82, what are your feelings about this movie, Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull?
Well, before I get to that, I want to reverse the tables here. And Jerry always asks a question of somebody. I'm going to ask Jerry a question.
Oh,
boy.
It's part of it deals with the music and the jungle. Would it have been too over the top to have like voodoo drums at any point in this movie during this part? Because they never use it. It's would that just be too on the nose, or would you have just been, yeah, that's cool? Because drums. That's you. You're a percussionist.
Boy, that is an excellent question, and there's a lot of ways to go with this. Of course, I love drums. Yes. And we say voodoo drums. I mean, that's a little.
Well, you know what I mean.
Yeah. I mean, like something that would be
way in the distance. In the distance,
yeah,
it's
some
like,
sort of thing. I think that would be on the nose in a way that would kind of be like, when they land in, where do they land? Atacama, Mexico, Mexicama, where they play La Cucaracha or whatever, the Mexican hat dance at the Peruvian airport. I mean, I think it may have had some shadings of that. I mean, of course, it's fun to hear drums in a movie, but that may have been a little too on the nose in this one. I think that would have. I think I like the music that they have. Of course, it is sort of a callback to the Raiders truck chase, for better, for worse. But it is invigorating music. So I'm fine with this instead of, say, primal drums.
Right. I was doing research. While I was doing research, I had just watched a Mystery Science Theater movie where that was really prevalent. So I just thought, just maybe might be a funny question. And
that would have been prevalent in the pulp stuff at the time too.
Yeah.
Right. 57. There was a lot of that. Yeah. And then also, I'm going to derail you, Tom, a little bit, just because I'll get to that. I'll get to my feelings about the movie, but
I stopped caring. It's okay. No, I'm kidding.
When I asked, or when I was, when you guys initially started recording this, I said I just want to make sure I have a Cate Blanchett minute, because she's the best part of the movie. So I got to get that, and so I'm thinking about doing. You guys spawned the Czar dozen minutes as an offhanded comment. I'm going to do Cate Blanchett minute.
Wow.
Where it's just the scenes, all the movies she's been in, but only the minutes that she is in.
Nice.
Like Blue Jasmine, Lord of the Rings, Thor Ragnarok, Life Aquatic, just pull those off, and then because that'll be substantial, that'll be easy to do, right? Because that'd be fun. And who doesn't want to talk about her? And also, her tush is way better than Scarlett Johansson, who supposedly was up for this role. Did you guys know that?
Really?
No,
I didn't know that. No, again,
was she pregnant?
Rudimentary research.
she was 4 months pregnant. Yeah.
It's one of those dumb IMDb things. It's like, Sly Stallone was up for this, and Arnold Schwarzenegger was up for this. Somehow,
wasn't she like 20 years old? She'd be like 19.
Yeah, she would have been way.
Yeah.
She would have. Way too young. Way too young. So anyway, I'm getting my Kate out of the way here. I watched the movie in its entirety recently. And I don't hate it. I actually think it's actually better than I remembered. I think what happens, and I think it happens with a lot of us fanboys or people who are into stuff, is one or two things can completely ruin a movie. And what happened to me was everything's fine. And then the CGI ants show up, and the Tarzan thing shows up. And then that's the kind of thing that makes me go, oh, it's a terrible movie. But it's not. And then the waterfall scene where it's just, all that sort of stuff. But in general, it's a fun romp, and it's just a dumb adventure movie. It's not supposed to change the world. It's supposed to be a thing that you watch. And anybody who takes it too seriously.
But you're right. I think, and that's what's hard, is if you obviously grew up with Raiders, Raiders did change the world.
Mm-hmm.
And so maybe, as Tommy says, Raiders was one of the worst things to happen to the Indiana Jones franchise, because this here is the land of the lost.
Really
Right?
is.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the land of
bad,
the yeah.
There's bad
what it
sets,
is.
weird costumes.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the good parts to me,
I would watch Indiana Jones and Land of the Lost, though. I would absolutely watch that.
Yeah, I feel like it's funny though, because Raiders, like all these movies are set in the Pulp Fiction universe, the Saturday morning, afternoon
Mhm.
serials, whatever that George Lucas and Spielberg loved as kids. But I feel like this one actually goes more into that than like Raiders, and maybe even, Last Crusade did. This seems more like a pulp Saturday afternoon serial than those did.
Yeah. I mean, one thing,
which
though,
I think is
people
why it seems a little more like a comic book part of the time.
right. Like, people always say, you can't talk about, especially when it first came out, you can't talk about Raiders without saying, oh, it's born of the serials of the 30s and 40s, whatever and stuff.
Uh-huh.
But they never point out that Raiders actually transcends those things. And like Star Wars, like, transcended Flash Gordon and stuff. It's like a better thing than those things that inspired it.
They made them, well, I don't know if it was better. They made them current. Like, they made them relevant for the current age.
Right. There's nothing kind of like corny about it or something, or chintzy. And,
but this seems more like an homage to those than Raiders seemed like it was a reimagining of those.
Right. Or using it as a stepping off point for something cooler. Whereas this is just kind of throwing a lot of stuff at a...
I feel like, I still feel like if this had not been Indiana Jones, I would have liked the movie a lot more. I mean, I actually do like this movie quite a bit at times, and it's fun. It's fun to watch.
I do too.
I think that it's sort of, and then this might be problematic language, but do you remember when you go to the soda shop or the pizza parlor and they had the soda machine, and you get a little bit of every drink, and make a drink instead of getting
they call it
cola,
a suicide.
Yeah, suicide.
Yeah, they call it a suicide. Yeah, and so I think that's what this is. It's like a little bit of this, 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 and it's probably not going to taste good, but I'm going to give it a shot. And and it turned out it's like, I'll just go ahead and get Dr. Pepper next time, because that's what I like. So I'll just go ahead and get Dr. Pepper.
It's kind of literally what Mountain Dew's been doing lately, where they take like 7 or 8 of their many redundant flavors and stick them in the same bottle, and you're like, wow, there's like the actual people who gave me Mountain Dew are now giving me this really gross mashup of stuff that I wasn't asking for. All right.
Pickled pineapple.
All right. Well, now that we've gotten to Mountain Dew, that's our signal to wrap up minute 82. Gordie, thank you so much for joining us and for facing this cliff with us. We wouldn't know what to do with the cliff without you. You made it palatable.
Well, thank you. I've been looking forward to this, and I've been listening to. This is something else. I think I might have brought this up last time. I'm not sure, but in the morning, I download my video or my podcasts as I'm getting ready to go to work at 7 in the morning, and I ride my bike to work. And so every morning, I have to start the morning with Star Wars Minute theme song, or the Crystal or the Indiana Jones Minute.
Nice.
So every single time I hear, it's like when I hear the theme song, it's me riding my bike to work. And so all of you listeners, when you're listening to that theme song, that's what I'm listening to on the way. So.
Beautiful.
On the bike.
Through rain or snow or sleet of night, or what is it?
Also, just a quick fun thing. I actually met Pete.
Yeah.
What? I've never met Pete. What's he like?
That is a
Real
fun
life.
thing.
Yeah. Gordy lives not too far from me.
Yeah, I met Pete in real life. I dropped my wife off at the airport, and she was going to Japan for 6 weeks with the new grandbaby. And I said, there is no way I'm not stopping in San Francisco and meeting my good friends Pete and Audra and Brett, because those are people that I've known for like 3 years and never actually met them in real life. And so, so it was really kind of funny to actually, like, I know what Pete looks like when he's talking. It's really fun.
That's awesome.
Makes that morning bike ride a little worse.
Yeah, you're like, oh, that's what the guy looks like. I'd rather see a frog ball.
Ruined it. Don't meet your heroes.
So one day, one day I hope to meet Jerry, and Chicago for Tom. I mean,
Sure.
I gotta, if they open back up with the C2E2, I'm going to see you in real life at some point.
Very cool. All right, that'd be fun.
Unless you come visit Pete again, and then
Never. No. Once was plenty.
Wait, what's C2E2?
Oh, C2E2 is a comic book convention in Chicago.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, which I've never been to, but now I will.
In 3 or 4 years when the COVID's over.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, until that day, thanks again, Gordie, and thank you everybody out there for listening. And please come back here on Monday for minute 83 of Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, right here on the good old Indiana Jones Minute.
He's adorable. wait,
Adorable
Gordie.
creature.
That's it. Gordie, I got a question for you. What's the name of that famous mailman who would cross-country ski the Sierras? Like he would deliver mail, like, I don't know, in like 1870 in blizzards from like Reno to Truckee and Lake Tahoe and to Placerville. You know what I'm talking about? He's a famous mailman.
Yeah, his name was Frederick de Montbelivergli.
Oh, that guy. He was good.
Do you know what I'm talking about, Pete?
No.
I've never heard of this. This is like Beyond the Pony Express.
Yeah, he would like he'd go from
Snowshoe Thompson.
There you go.
God.
Snowshoe Thompson.
Did he ski?
I think it was
How do you ski with snowshoes?
It was one of those extra a G.I. Joe set where you could get a different outfit for G.I. Joe. That's what it was.
I would read about him. It's fascinating, and he's adorable.